Kabul Court of Appeal. I was also the communications officer for the Afghan Women Judges Association. First and foremost, I want to thank your association for asking me to speak today. I would also like to congratulate the Judges Association on its 30-year anniversary, although I am here under unfortunate circumstances with the future of Afghan's female judges being devastatingly uncertain. It is promising to know that our friends are celebrating 30 years together, 30 years advocating, 30 years fighting for human rights. After 40 years of war, when the 2004 constitutional law of Afghanistan was approved, Afghans could experience both democracy and rule of law to some extent. I specify to some extent because there were many barriers that prevented the rule of law from being practiced in its entirety. With the known corruption within the state, the justice system often had its hands tied. Despite all of this, Afghanistan's female judges did not waver. They courageously undertook their judicial duties, often in dangerous situations, and dedicated their lives to the rule of law. Although Afghanistan is on a war stage currently, the environment was never a safe place for women to work. To put life into perspective, it was not uncommon to receive multiple letters from the National Security Agency to warn us against imminent threats targeting judges with a greater risk for female judges. It was also common to directly receive phone calls which threatened our lives. Threats ranged from attackers not wanting women to practice law and even worse, not wanting women to be a part of the workforce at all. All times threats went beyond letters and calls and took the form of suicide bombing and massacres. There have been numerous instances of these tragic killings. In Farah, Logan and Ghazni, a group of attackers took over the entire courthouse and massacred every single employee there. In a suicide attack that happened in front of the Supreme Court in Kabul, two newly graduated female Afghan judges, Mina and Zarkhana, were killed. We are graduated female. We are still suffering and grieving the loss of two of female judges, Zakia and Qadriya, whose lives were recently taken. These are just a few examples of what it was like to be a female judge in Afghanistan before recent events. Today, after my country's fall into the control of the Taliban, our lives are in more danger. First, we were at risk of being arrested by the Taliban because of the nature of our identities and careers. Second, previously tried and jailed Taliban associates and other criminals had been released, many of which were sentenced by my colleagues. From here, threats will only escalate into revenge. Despite all the hurdles, my colleagues and those before me have moved mountains in terms of implementing the rule of law and bringing forth justice for all Afghans. I was proud of how far we had come. However, for now, with the female judges being eliminated from the judicial system, Afghanistan is a struggling country whose democracy has been stripped from it. The current situation is testimony that achieving democracy and rule of law is a war that is far from over in Afghanistan. Afghan female judges hope that the situation in Afghanistan improves so we can go back to our normal duties and build upon the efforts of the past 20 years and contribute to building a society under the complete rule of law. I appreciate you giving me the time to share a part of my story and the challenges that female judges still face today. I would like to use this opportunity to ask international community and all the governments of the world to help Afghan women judges who are still in Afghanistan and try to survive every day. And all Afghan women judges that now are safe and wait for support from international community. Thank you.